Nigeria, Rashid Bawa replies, good luck, Jonathan. Those are the stories on the front page of the Daily Statesman newspaper.
The Ghanaian Observer is reporting this morning 8,000 health trainees receive clearance for employment and bunking police peacekeepers repatriated. There's also the front page of the paper. Gabi backs Open UGMC Now campaign, and Esla answers critics over Kelny GVG. Gives telcos 11th of June deadline to connect to CMP. Today is first, right?
Yep.
10 more days.
10 more days.
Okay.
That a variant of that story is on the front page of the Chronicle newspaper. AfriWave Suba pocket $2.6 million per month for no work done. That's Communications Minister Eslo. Also on the front page of the Chronicle, 4 arrested for illegal electricity connections and mad rush for MTN shares in Kumasi.
The Finder has these stories on this front page. Reconsider creation of new regions, Imani to government, and NMC calls for civility in dealing with investigative journalism. And also China's Huanghe province to invest over $10 billion in northern region. And that's on the front page of Finder.
The Herald newspaper, Akufo-Addo's aide wanted, protesters shot and killed, angry at First Lady's security detail. Also on the front page of the Herald newspaper, which has Raymond Akwa's name boldly written on it, President's candidate withdraws from MPP race, and Men's Gold opens Spain branch today.
Now, the Daily Heritage has these stories on this front page. Pupils write exams on laps. And this is at the Gassau municipality, not anywhere in any village. Gassau municipality.
Ouija area.
Yes, Asharaja specifically. And that's where this is happening anyway. And that's on the front page of the Daily Heritage. Together with Ghana police in shady car deals, says Hassan Ayaraga. But police is denying this allegation. That's on the front page of the Daily Heritage.
The Daily Guide newspaper. I have more on my chest. Rawlings wants NDC. Bank of Ghana top staff hot. 10 killed in Volta Lake.
The New Crusading Guide has a story that would actually sadden many. 3 Operation Vanguard soldiers in the cooler for extortion. And that's on the front page with other stories which are Kelny GVG related. There's another one on American Doctor Stamps Up Champion Device Clinic for specific surgery related engagements.
The Ghanaian Times newspaper, 46 police personnel, that's repatriation for sexual misconduct. Ghana-Togo maritime border clash looms as Togo stops Ghana from operating in disputed area. Stop attacks and attacks, threats, and assault against ANAS Media Commission.
The Daily Graphic has this on the back page. 9 die in boat disaster at Okpalemi in the Volta region. And the Tema Municipal Assembly is presenting outboard motors to fishermen to help them do their work in the way that they want them to do it.
So there were 2 major stories yesterday. Esther also in Parliament over GVG Kelny, and then there was that government statement about the operationalizing of the University of Ghana Medical Center.
Yes.
Where do you guys start? So, let me give you guys a pick on what to start.
Let's save lives. In defense of saving lives, I'll go for the hospital.
And I support that.
All right.
Afterwards, I will give you the tune and then we can sing the song which was sung on the floor of the house.
Ray, let's go.
Now, government actually has okayed the University of Ghana Medical Center to open. We know that this is a 650-bed capacity institution which is being asked, and in the words of the Deputy Minister, he has a, see we know the Perry Okujeto, but he has some in between Curtis, Kwabla, Okujeto. So, yes, that's a full name.
Oh, okay.
When they issue good news, they do full name. Okay, so the minister is saying that with immediate effect, government is insisting that the team that has been put together, that's the interim management team, should get the place running. We know that the first phase of the hospital, which was inaugurated by the former President John Dramani Mahama in 2016, was expected to be fully operational by July 2017. So it's been almost a year since the expectation was supposed to be realized, but as of now, it's not happened. We know that the entire project started in April 2013, and the understanding was that it was supposed to be faster than usual and provide a medical facility with the best of structures for everybody to enjoy from. It has 8 huge blocks, which house emergency centers, an outpatient administration block, women and children's center, a medical training and simulation center, among others. This is how wonderful this facility is supposed to be. So the Perekujeto statement also says that an interim board chaired by Dr. Nefi Asamoah is expected this year to complete staffing process and also provide logistics required for the operation by the center when we get into July. But there are some concerns that are being raised. Now, there's a report that's being quoted by the Finder newspaper. The report is by the Project Implementation Unit. So they liaise with the contractors who are engaging in building the facility.
Yeah.
This is EDC. The EDC is saying that it may take at least 6 months before this project is open. Do you know why? There are four main concerns. One is on outstanding payment, issue of security, warranty, and staffing. Let's start with the staffing, which is perhaps the biggest problem. They're saying that the staff who are required to work was started some time back, but they require some clearance. Now you need specific staff ready and be trained to use the facility before they can open up. So when they finish the recruitment, which may be in the next month by July, you need them to take at least 4 months more to learn the new facilities and be accustomed to it so that they can use it the way it ought to be used.
Roman, I thought we were told that these people were trained and they were waiting for the start of the operations of the hospital and then they will zoom into work.
No, the arrangement says that the people have now been recruited. They were not given clearance in any way. So when they come to work, they have to take some time for them to be trained to do the work that they have to actually do it.
Ray, the point Malik is raising is that I didn't actually just spoke to someone very close to this contract. We understand that some people were even sent to the Sheba Hospital in Israel, which hospital this one was modeled after, to learn how to use these machines.
Yes, but we have been explained to that those are primary staff. We are looking at a huge number of people who actually operate different units in that particular big facility. So the outstanding $9.8 million is also be required to pay to this contractor. At least he wants some commitment in writing that you pay him the amount of money, or even ask him to continue with the second phase of the facility. Now, there's an issue to do with the warranty. Contrary to what most of us have been made to believe, the report says that the warranty for some very specific consumables were not expired or will not be expiring anytime because the facilities were not used. So they didn't install them. So from now to the time of installment, after installment, which is supposed to happen now that the directive have been given, then the warranty will stand. We will start operating in that particular case. So that's the other issue. Security is also important. They fear, at the point in time, the rest of Ghana security was in charge of the place. Then national security replaced the people. They are saying that there's no adequate security for the entire facility. And this is a very dangerous one because we have pumped in a lot of money into this 207 million project. So all of that ought to be resolved. And according to the Project Implementation Unit, you need at least 6 months for that to happen. And don't forget,
6 months for security.
For not only security, for the staffing, all the four issues to be resolved, and finally the project will proceed. And the 48 million they are asking when it's going to be paid for the second phase to start, so that now that you are cleared the first hurdle, the second phase ought to be given the green light too.
Well, it's still relieving. Government said in that statement that funding has been secured for the second phase of the project.
50 million were told.
Exactly. And we will have Mustafa Hamid on the show today, Information Minister. I was going to say Inspiration Minister, I don't know. The Information Minister. And he will be telling us, clarifying all of these issues for us, whether or not we can begin when the government says in the statement, or would have to wait another 6 months. But Malik, let's move to that issue you're hankering for us to talk about. The Communications Minister, Esther Usu, was in Parliament yesterday.
Yes. And I'm giving you the tune. Who is on the Lord's side?
Okay.
Why are you looking at me? Join the song. Let's sing it.
all right. So it's tunes are usually given by singing, but let's allow the minister herself to give the tune, shall we? Ready, go.
Let's go.
Your voices are missing.
Let's go. Raymond is standing and looking at me.
I can sing, but it's Malik that I'm worried about. Clearly, I don't want you to dump
Malik, it's okay. Let's stick to what I know you can do. So
good. So yesterday,
give us the news.
Communications Minister, after a couple of weeks of public debate over whether the $89 million contract that the Ministry of Communications and the Finance Ministry signed with Kelny GVG to engage in what they call, real-time monitoring of call traffic for purposes of calculating tax, the communication service tax, and for revenue assurance and other related matters, had value for money. So she appeared before the House yesterday. The key things she said were, one, that the telecom companies appear to be using a ruse as a basis to frustrate the implementation of the law mandating the monitoring of call traffic real time. And she said that in other countries, specifically citing Uganda and Paul Kagame's country, Rwanda, these same telecom companies are operating in those countries, and they have allowed the state agencies and the government to monitor real-time call traffic for purposes of calculating tax. She does not understand why in Ghana they are preventing the state from doing so. She believes that all the concerns about protection of people's data and all of that are simply a ruse to frustrate the implementation of the law. She says that all the companies, GVG, that will be doing all of this, and the state agencies, all will operate under the data protection law of Ghana. So the concerns being raised by the telecom companies, in her view, are not sustainable. So she gave the telecom companies 11 days from yesterday, and Raymond just mentioned today is June 1st, so
10 more days.
10 more days for all of them to comply with the law, because this is a law which was passed in 2013, and this law was passed because in 2009, when GVG was brought into the country to do the same monitoring, the telecom companies resisted it and actually went to court. Subsequent to that, Parliament then passed a law in 2013 saying that it is mandatory for the telecom companies to allow the government to monitor their call traffic, and that failure to do so will attract penalties. And one of the penalties is 5% of their revenue and eventually revocation if they persist in preventing the state from absolute revocation of their license if they persist in doing that. She says, and she assured them that government will enforce the law to the letter.
Wow. So it's going to be an interesting next couple of days.
Yes, and I must add that she actually pointed out it's only Glo and Vodafone. Glo has already connected. Vodafone has indicated their desire to connect. So she says she's enjoining the rest of the telecom companies to follow suit. Otherwise, they will implement the provisions of the law.
All right. Now, speaking of implementing the provisions of the law, Raymond, some officers who are supposed to be enforcing the law are flouting it.
Yes, these are Operation Vanguard soldiers, and these 3 soldiers were alleged to have done some form of extortion from these illegal miners in Wasa Akropong. So instead of going to make sure they clear the people, they go and ask them, bring something small. We will protect the team for you. So we declare the place cleared when the people are still operating. The military high command, in a statement last night, signed by Colonel Agriquash, who is director of what they call public relations, indicated strongly that the military does not condone this conduct at all. In fact, they believe that having to disobey service command and proceeding to do extortion is a very serious crime. So they have used a terminology that's very interesting. They have actually arrested and put these men under close arrest at the 2nd Battalion of Infantry in Takoradi in the Western region. Okay, they've not provided the names of the people yet, but they are still pursuing investigations to get to the bottom of the matter. They said they will deal with them drastically if they are found to be culpable in this particular case. And we know that these men were working in the specific place of Wasa Akropong. In fact, what they're saying is that this does not taint the rest of the officers, hundreds of them who are across the country, who are doing diligent jobs, who are risking their lives to protect lives and property and rid and clean our water bodies in this particular case. But so far we say that we've had almost 1,425 people being arrested. We've had close to 2,500 excavators and other machines being confiscated, all put together in a way that's supposed to promote our good. You do recall that some time ago it came out that some of these military men were, instead of getting rid of illegal galamseyers, were protecting them. The military high command came out to openly oppose that statement. The Minister of Defense also came out to say that it is never true, and these guys were there to do specific duty jobs. But the complaint has been that even on the ground, they might have been abusing other laws like burning excavators. Contrary to, in fact, they said they didn't do the amendment to the law, but they knew the law. Just that the amendment that said that you cannot burn the excavators, they did not know about. But this is a step in the right direction if the military is going to get to the bottom of the matter.
Definitely, and we are not using this to taint the entire force, but there are some recalcitrant officers. There are some recalcitrant officers who did some things in Tamale a few weeks back.
Yeah.
And we are waiting for the report on that as well. And we are waiting for the whip to be cracked on those officers as well. But Malik, the soldiers are not the only ones who are cleaning house.
Absolutely. And this time is the police. And 46 Ghanaian police personnel were repatriated from South Sudan, where they were engaged in UN peacekeeping mission there.
Oh yeah, the UN mission in South Sudan. I remember that one very well.
Yes, so 46 of our police officers were returned home because they were alleged to have been involved in sexual misconduct. These police officers were alleged to have had sexual engagements with natives who were under UN protection in a village they call Hall in South Sudan.
Okay.
They were repatriated on the basis of that. They came back to Ghana in a chartered flight. Police PRO David Oklu confirmed this and said that all of the 46 police officers will be sent to their respective duties because investigations are still ongoing. And if any of them are found culpable, if the investigations confirm that they indeed and in fact engage in sexual misconduct, there will be sanctions. One of the sanctions, Raymond, you'll be interested in hearing this one, includes the fact that they will never get the opportunity to go on a peacekeeping mission again. That's one of the sanctions.
Sanction.
Why? You don't believe it's a sufficient sanction?
But if you have engaged in such an act, you should be dealt with in a more drastic manner than...
but you see, if you know the service, if you know the force, there's a lot of motivation to go on these projects.
Yes.
So it would be should I say, a deterrent to others if they know that.
And if you step out and come back late, that can be a very nice sanction. But if you engage in sexual misconduct, it cannot be to me it will be a slap on the hand.
A slap on the
yeah, but it's just one of the one of the things
okay,
that will happen to them. The others will be, some of them will be, depending on the severity of the offenses against you, the service itself would institute its own measures against them. And the UN is requesting the police service in Ghana to take its own local steps in dealing with these police officers, 46 of them. And I'm just thinking, so police officer, you leave your wife and then you go on peacekeeping and you come back home and the allegation is that you went to engage in some sexual misconduct.
How do you explain that to your wife in the first place?
Right. Guys, before we do anything else, we just got this statement from the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, signed by Ken Ashigbe, the Chief Executive Officer. 3 guesses what the issue is about.
Yes.
GVG Kelni.
Can they log on in 10 days?
So let's listen to what they have to say. As an industry which has been monitored for close to a decade, we are not averse to monitoring as we do not have anything to hide. However, as a law-abiding industry, we seek that the monitoring should be done according to the very law that empowers the NCA and GRA to monitor us, the Communication Service Tax Amendment Act 2013. So these are the 2 issues that they have with the GVG Kelni setup. First of all, it seeks to connect beyond the equivalent points in the network where the network providers' billing systems are connected. Remember, when we had Richard Nyama, he said this, that it will be done before billing. The monitoring will be done before billing. The monitoring mechanism also has the capability to actively or passively record, monitor, or tap into the content of any incoming or outgoing electronic communications traffic, such as voice. So what they are saying is that, number 1, they can hook into the system before their billing mechanism kicks in, and number 2, they can actively or passively record the content of your phone calls. Yeah, so
I think it was in response to these concerns, which are not really quite new, that the minister said, look, the company GVG will be operating in accordance with the data protection law. And the data protection law is meant to protect everybody's data. Individuals, institutions, companies that have anything to do with people's data have a responsibility to protect that data and to not use that data for any dishonorable purposes. So she doesn't believe that there is any substance to the argument.
Okay, let me just complete the statement as we have here. It says, and its capability is bold, and it says the monitoring mechanism has the capability to actively or passively record, monitor, or tap into the content of any incoming or outgoing electronic communications traffic, such as voice. The proposed connection points will risk exposing content of voice traffic The voice transaction dump for the revenue assurance tool should be enough without risking individual customer privacy. We are reminded that the law does not talk about intent but capability, which the current architecture possesses. So as long as they are able to, there's a problem here. It ends by saying, as an industry, we are still committed to collaborating with the NCA to align with an architecture that is acceptable by all stakeholders. The mobile industry will continue to collaborate with the NCA to ensure that the common platform meets the legal requirement of the law. It will preserve the security of our networks as well as ensure the privacy of our customers while assuring the government of its well-deserved legal revenue. There's a part here about how they've been monitored for 10 years and they have no problem with being monitored now. Let's move into the online review now. And the online news review is brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest, Goyle, Good Energy, and Selma Courts, managed by Western World Properties. Live your true comfort. Now, buy your MTN Ghana shares at Zenith Bank and become a proud shareholder of the leading provider of mobile telecommunication services in Ghana. Share prices are going for just 75 Ghana pesos per share. Purchase a minimum of 10 shares and multiples of 10 thereafter with this amazing offer. Visit any Zenith Bank branch nationwide with a valid ID for a hassle-free purchase of your MTN Ghana shares today. For further information, talk to us 24 hours a day via 0302 680 or 0542 000111 or on ZChat, our live chat service at www.zenithbank.com.gh. Alternatively, contact us on Facebook and Instagram. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. Now, Ghana's #1 indigenous oil marketing company, Goyle, gives you innovation that takes you further. The new Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. These expertly crafted lubricants work excellently with all modern petrol and diesel engines, provide superior cleaning and protection, reduce fuel consumption, prolong oil change intervals, and enhance engine performance. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Engineering innovation for your vehicle has arrived and is available at all over 330 Goyle filling stations. Goyle, Good Energy. And when your landlord says your rent is due and you don't have any money, don't worry. Be happy and run to Selma Courts, located at Katamanso, and move into your own dream house today. Are you a regular salaried worker or business executive whose income can be verified? Then run to Selma Courts today and sign the offer letter, and our finance partners will pay for you with no deposit, no hidden charges. Remember, terms and conditions apply. This offer is valid until 30th June 2018. You can also build your own dream house on our Selma Springs premium plot at Tema Community 25 and Pram Pram Beach. Selma Court is managed by Western World Properties Limited. You may contact us on 0545 558 988 or 0545 559 928 or visit our website on www.selmacourt.com or email us at info@selmacourt.com. Selma Court, live your true comfort. You want to stay a moment with us as we go on myjoyonline.com. NDC government did not hide $1.2 billion NIA contract deal with your incompetence. Haji speaking there, former CEO of NIA, William Haji speaking with you, Raymond, on Upfront. $89 million GVG contract. Government wants to be a citizen, not a spectator in telecom space. And also struggling banks tasked to submit major plans ahead of recapitalization deadline. The BOG speaking here. Dinshabuasi residents reject statue for Major Mahama and prefer a police station. Other online story says Uganda, on the BBC, says Uganda imposes WhatsApp and Facebook tax to stop gossip. Yeah, interesting. You agree?
Yes.
That's for you. All right, let's go for the BBC News. In a few minutes, the Super Morning Show continues. Stay with us.
Look, I go for training for abroad, though. Now I get a doctorate for psychology. I go for training for some fresh Interplast pipes.
Hey, I don't go be that, oh. You always have something new from Interplast.
See this pipe be very durable and correct. You fit say it be very potent. Look, like it be medicines, if it could a bit Viagra serve. I could do press conference soon, you know. I could tell the whole world how my new pipes will fit stop global warming. It be go fit face the desert heat, Eskimo cold, even the Swiss canal.
I don't go, it no be global warming, it be warming.
I be all be the global now, whether warning or warming. See, it be the press conference where you will see why everybody for use PVC and HDPE pipes from Interplast. Interplast pipes be the best pipes. Very soon, Akosumbo and wait themselves. Look, they don't go wait for rain because I got delayed HDPE pipes from the Red Sea and even global warning
Hey, Atongo Bidato, international plumber with international pipes.
Interplast, wherever you are, we make sure water reaches you, even space.
We all wander through life, wondering how to get to the top. We all aim for the best, striving hard to get to the top. We have speed, excellence, innovation, integrity. Zenith Bank, Zenith Bank, Zenith Bank, Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
When your landlord says your rent is due and you don't have any money, don't worry. Be happy and run to Selma Court, located at Katamanso, and move into your own dream house today. Are you a regular salaried worker or a business executive whose income can be verified? Then rush to Selma Court today and sign the offer letter, and our finance partners will pay for you with no deposit and no hidden charges. Remember, terms and conditions apply. This offer is valid up to 30th June 2018. You can also build your own dream house on our Selma Springs premium plots at Tema Community 25 and Pram Pram Beach. Selma Court is managed by Western World Properties Limited. You may contact us on 0545 558988 or 0545 559928 or visit our website on www.selmacourt.com or email us at info@selmacourt.com. Selma Court. Live your true comfort.
Time waits for no man. The future belongs to the brave. Nothing comes without a fight. Fight for a better future. Fight to change the world.
Make your mark at Academic City College with its new campus in Hacho Accra. With activity-based learning and premium teaching talent, take your education beyond the theoretical classroom.
Visit www.accghana.com. Admissions open now for September 2018. Academic City, unlocking potential, one leader at a time.
Life is a hustle and a bustle, but we don't move any muscle yet. Life is easy with FlexiPay. With a single touch of my finger, pay all bills, don't linger. Life is fun with FlexiPay. So we click this, click that, and we pay this, pay that. Life is easy with FlexiPay. Easy with FlexiPay. So we click this, click that, and we pay this, pay that. Life is fun with FlexiPay. Fun with FlexiPay. ECG, GoTV, and all bills. From One Ghana to Waterview. Phone, credit, data, DSTV. Send your mobile money anywhere. So we click this, click that, and we pay this, pay that. Life is easy with FlexiPay. Easy with FlexiPay.
FlexiPay, endless possibilities.
Randomly say, oh, I love, let's say I'm in some country and I say, oh, I love Kenya. And then I see people from all over the rest of Africa saying, oh, you don't love us.
That's after the latest world news.
Hello, I'm Debbie Russ with the BBC News. Tariffs on steel and aluminium imports into the United States from the EU, Mexico and Canada have come into force as condemnation of the measure by the Trump administration continues to grow. The EU, Mexico and Canada have all vowed to respond in kind. Mexico's Foreign Minister, Luis Videgaray, said his country would defend its interests.
El gobierno de México responde. The
Mexican government is responding with equivalent measures to products such as steel, pork legs and shoulders, apples, grapes, blueberries and various cheeses until we reach an amount matching the level of impact.
A populist Italian government will be sworn in today, promising new welfare spending and tax cuts. It will be led by Giuseppe Conte, whose first attempt to form an administration collapsed when the president vetoed his choice of a hardline Eurosceptic as finance minister. The leaders of the two leading populist parties are